Right. Where were we with this case? This interesting final case that we have. Yes, that's right. So we've been counting bullets at the crime scene in Winterbank's pawn shop. We've found out that there are unaccounted bullets. We know that Mr. Sholmes was shot, but apparently the bullet struck his pouch with all of his, like, vials of chemicals and stuff in, and it was lodged in there, and one of the chemical vials is what broke, and that's what's caused his wound. Because the surgeon who operated on him is apparently one of the jury members in a bizarre twist of fate, and he told us, actually, I operated on Mr. Sholmes today, and he didn't have a bullet in his belly. I don't know where it went. It didn't leave the body. There's no exit wound. So the one that we found in the wall couldn't be his, and we know that the blood on it tests the same as the blood. Ah! Reapers! I mean, wife! I mean, hello? Shy? Sweetheart? You're here. There you are. Making a fantastic entrance as always. So, we found the blood here on the calendar in the Winterbank pawnbrokers. When we sprayed it with the chemicals, it goes green. We know that that is possibly the blood of the thrice-fired Mason guy. Lurking, yes, lurk away. The lurk command works now, you'll be happy to know. Shock horror, right? In fact, pretty much all the commands work now. There's a few I've not added back in because they just never got used. So they're not for stuff that we really do anymore. So the command list is also a little neater now. We know that this is also Pop Winterbank's blood is blue when it's sprayed with the chemicals. There we go! I know, right? I did that like half an hour before the stream. I've actually, now that I've got the hub set up in here as well and I have more Ethernet slots, I set my NAS back up and I knew there is a text file in there with all of the commands, apart from the lurk command, so that's newly written. But anyway, yeah, they were all on my NAS, so I've got that set up today. So I didn't need to set up the other PC after all. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one now. I'm weighing up my options. So anyway, the blood, the green stuff, we believe belongs to Eggert Benedict, the guy in white. And that's because of this, the blood on the disc. This has been submitted as evidence in the trial now as part of the whole attempt to discredit Miss Lestrade. They showed that this is the item she tried to purloin from the pawnbrokers before, and Gregson turned it in as evidence. But apparently this wasn't supposed to be used as evidence. And, of course, you know, Lord Zykes was like, I don't care. I'm using it. Try and stop me. I didn't get that memo. And we know that we've got bullets and guns here that only fired one bullet apiece. And yet we've got a third bullet here that was found in Sholmes's pouch. So there's one in the wall, and there's the one that shot Mr. Winterbank. So we've now tied this to there being a potential third party. We've found the blood on next to the calendar is the same as the blood on this disc, which we know, and Gregson knows and attested to the fact that Mr. Eggert Benedict cut his finger on this disc. But it's our equipment, it's not legal. So none of that was legally binding, but we've convinced the court to have him summoned. And that's where we're at. So we're waiting for him to show up. And we can find out what his part in this was, because he was clearly there that night. Ah, Gina, how are you holding up? I'm starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now. I look forward to them every day. Ginny! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything? What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fighting so hard for the likes of me? What? Well, you saw it, that picture. What picture? The one where she's holding the gun with Mr. Winterbank? She's not holding it at him though, she's holding it up in the air. But he is, you know, like, whoa, hey, what up? Freya! There you are, hello! How is the Freya today? Come on in. Ah, you mean this? The photograph taken by Hurley's red-handed recorder? Well, I didn't think it would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. Especially since it only fires off every half hour on a timer. People were lucky. You're tired, the mother came over and helped you tackle the bedroom finally, had to chuck a bunch of damaged clothes. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're making progress, that's good. So hopefully you get everything sorted out the way you need it to be. But yeah, that's never good when you're dealing with something like that. It sucks, it really does. Good luck with the rest of it if you've got any more to do. Getting little steps, exactly, that's all you can do. I mean, moving house was, to me at the time when I started, I was like, fuck, this is such a big job. Oh my god. And then it's like, no, it's lots of little jobs and you just have to do one. And when you've done with that, look for the next one and do that and look for the next one and do. It's difficult to think that way, but yeah, you kind of have to just put one foot in front of the other sometimes. It's the only way we walk. It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that is gonna think I did it, ain't they? Well, I won't pretend it was a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court, especially since you didn't tell us what actually happened that day. Like a good client should. You know, actually inform me. Surely you've got to have your doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. I can because I have to, I'm your attorney. Ginny, why don't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. See, Iris gets it. Iris gets it. This right here, that's what she gets. Eh? Yeah. Huh? You mean I could tell you? Yeah. Bruno's cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from you. Like, fill in the blanks. Fill them in, girl. Come on. There we go. All right, then. It was after we had that dinner together at your place, Iris. Then we had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. I remember you telling me you would feel kind of, you know, disturbed thinking someone like me could be defending you in court, but anyway. Or someone who lives like me defends you in court. Hey, look where we are now! After that, I just couldn't get to sleep, so I slipped out and went down the street to the 2-1 to Winterbank's place, and I had to know if Iris's story was really there or not, the Hound of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing, but if you ask me, there's something in it that Sholmes doesn't like, something what you don't want people reading. But that's why I lied to Iris about sticking it in a lug with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought about at the time. Yeah, because she thought Sholmes was lying about the fact that this manuscript, the Hound of the Baskervilles, that he took off of Iris and wouldn't let her publish, she thought he was lying about the fact that he put it in a trunk in Winterbank's safekeeping until it was ready, you know, until people were ready for this. So you broke into Winterbank's. I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea at all that was going to kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark, as you like in there, so I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when... What do you think you're doing? Ah! Oh, nose! I nearly died, I did. I knew... next thing I knew... I'd grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what. Like somebody waving a gun in the air, maybe? Ah, you're the girl who was here in the afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery. The mantle script. Have you got it here? Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story? I beg your pardon? The Hound of the something or other. Is it here? I want to see it. I'm sorry, young lady, but I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. I don't want it. What would I want with it anyway? I just want to see if it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you? I wonder if Sholmes really pawned here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go. Oh, very well then. For pity's sake, stop waving my gun around, would you? So then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door, and we both went inside. I'm interested to know how she ended up unconscious. What happened? And it was there, alright. The mantle script. Sholmes weren't lying after all. Rocker Freak! Hello! Good afternoon. How is life? Happy Friday. Come on in. How's everything with you today? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing smashing, in fact. You did all that just to check for me, Ginny? Started with Ginny's voice first. Anyway, then there was a bit of a kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulkin brothers arriving on the scene, yeah. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in. Again. Dear me. Is there some burglars convention here tonight I don't know about? I think I forgot to shut the door behind me. Sorry. I'd better go and take care of it. Could I possibly have my gun back? But oh well. I'll come with you and... Now don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances. Oh, he's looking after her. Bless him. And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and he walked back into the shop. I hung back in the storeroom, like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. Just the usual here. Hope you're doing well as well. I'm doing okay, thank you very much. Yes. Glad to hear you're doing good. Well, that's if the usual is good. I hope the usual is good. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help see, so I was just about to go out to the storeroom myself when... Oh damn, 2 gunshots. Bang bang. I told you I thought that the shot from Winterbank's gun would be the one that's in the calendar. I said that from the day we spotted it. I heard a couple of shots go off too, I think, almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at my feet, laying face down on the floor, so we were right. He was shot as he went through the door. I was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it as quick as you like. Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Winterbank might come for you. Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun, figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Winterbank was a goner. I felt funny in my head all of a sudden, kinda dizzy. Oh, so she just passed out from shock then. Interesting. And after that, I don't remember nothing. I don't remember nothing, governor. Nothing. That must be when you passed out, Gina. If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old cove might still be alive. Did you tell the police everything you just told us? Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? They said, all they said was if I kept telling lies, it'd make things even worse for me. It'll be alright, Ginny, don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill. Am I? Jeez. That cove, what was there in the afternoon? That Eggert Benedict. Mr. Poser. I still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night. Well, we don't know his real name yet, but I'm convinced he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. Finally. You what? You can leave it all in Bruno's capable hands now, Ginny. Mr. Nara Odo. Yes. How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on. It was only 2 months ago. Me and Mr. McGilded, we told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog rotter off with him, even though he was a killer. Yeah, but he died in a fire afterwards, so... No, I could never forget that. Oh. I did what I thought was best at the time, but the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side to the bitter end no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. Yeah, but if you were really a killer, you wouldn't be saying things like that. So I know, I'm smart. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. Twice. Well, once in a trial, once on a ship. You were? Before I left Japan, I was accused of a murder, and strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure no one would believe me that I'd done it. Oh, Runo. There was one person who stood up for me and who believed in me, and he was prepared to defend me. My best friend. Kiryu Kazuma. I mean, Asogi Kazuma. Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest. I was so happy I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me? Not completely. But I was wrong. The dude was a bro. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he'd had an absolute unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. We became brothers that day, in the heat of battle in a court. Since then I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry, I won't let you down. Even though I'm a diver, and a no-good liar, nobody's perfect. You're not like McGilded, you know that. Hey? That's right, you're our friend, Ginny. Iris? We know you better than you think. We've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Yes. That's really all we need to know. Exactly. Mr. Nara Odo, Oh, she's crying. Aww. Defendant Gina Lestrade and her legal representative. Court proceedings are about to resume. Please head into the courtroom immediately. Yes, of course, thank you. I had been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another. And I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at last, the final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Susato-san. I hope you're watching over me too, partner. God, the Skulking Brothers. Oh my god. I remember these guys. They were kind of stupidly adorable. I really hope we get to see more testimony from them just one more time, because they were so funny. I hereby call this court into order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Van Zykes, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness? The subpoena was delivered to the communications station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, The heavy rain has delayed the arrivals of his carriage, it would seem. I see. Let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's process of the case heard by the court this morning. The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector. Yes, I can only apologize, my lord. And although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom. It's a big mistake to cross Hurley and me, a very big mistake. You'll be sorry. Sorry. So I'm guessing with your amount of game time in this, your law degree is in the post. Oh yeah. I mean, on top of that, and the first 3 Ace Attorney games that we played over a year and a half ago. Yeah, we're getting there. Oh my goodness. My lord, a subpoenaed witness has just arrived in the building. Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay. Mr. Eggert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon, and certainly not like this. Look at these guys. Thank you for complying with the court's subpoena at such short notice, sir. But of course, my lord, as an upstanding member of London society, it's my pleasure to oblige. Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the court record. Oh, there we go, we got a real name. Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer. Mr. Graydon and I both work at London Central Communications Station. Now, perhaps someone would kindly explain what all this is about. You were appraised of the situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume? Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at the pawnbroker's on Baker Street. And some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. That is the accusation indeed. This really is beyond the joke, you know. Very well, without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath. Oh god, without the dancing, please. Gladly, my lord, gladly. Jesus. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbrokering services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? Yeah, that shoulder shimmy, right? Dude's got some moves. I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation, even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Some Scaramouche detective's homebrew tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. So you deny the accusation completely, do you not? I must say, I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by the self-professed detective's toy. It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today. Whoa, by golly! How long am I expected to be detained here? If, following the defense's cross-examination, your involvement in this matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately. Good. Then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation at least. Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination. So we meet again, Mr. Eggert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon? My apologies. You are? Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met. If you say so. Ashley Graydon, Enchante. So... Oh, sweet. Can I keep this hat? Is this mine? Wow, dude, thank you. Ah! I trust we can conclude this quickly. But I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do it. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna put that hat on and wear it. Alright. So, has occasion to make use of pawnbrokering services. Yes. Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Eggert Benedict, I believe. Tell me, what made you... Yes, Zykes? The witness is here to testify about events that took place that night. Well, him being there in the daytime puts him there at night as well, because it's a linked thing, but okay, whatever. Feel free to cramp my style anytime you want, Lord Zykes. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions. You can't be serious. Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question. So he's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort to not give anything away? This could be tricky. What's going to be key here is saying something to upset one of the other people in the witness stand, one of the skulking brothers. And then we can hopefully get them to roll on him. But then again, they're criminals, so they're actually going to stand trial for the actual shooting of Mr. Sholmes and a breaking in to begin with. So yeah, are you seriously suggesting I colluded with the thugs? Have you seen these two men before? This pair? They just look away like, No, I don't associate with criminals. Said by a man who introduced himself as Eggert Benedict. That should be a crime in itself, it's such a terrible joke. I'd like to know who I have to thank for this. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in black. This is a farce. Shimmy shimmy. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Well, that would be the Lord Chief Justice. So, go complain to him. You know? Hey Sam! How's it going? Happy Friday, dude. How are you today? How's life? Everything good? What have you been up to? Anything fun? Any interesting anecdotes for us today? Well, needless to say, I have no intention of admitting to an outrageous accusation. We're not really getting anywhere with this guy, though. Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions. Friday working, but at least rest is coming up. Nice. Look forward to it. You're able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend. You appear to be under the gross misapprehension on this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. If your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene, the obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. It's true. We need to have reasonable doubt that he was there. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. A silent victory wiggle, thanks. So certain parties claim the blood was found at the scene. Blood was found at the scene of the crime, there's no question of that. Mr. Sholmes' chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such. I am not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? How can you be sure that the blood is mine? Oh yeah, he's a diva. Definitely. It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. Everyone's individual blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to determine different... Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character anyway? Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a renowned detective. We couldn't even bring ourselves to introduce him as a great detective. because he is kind of crap. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we? Here we go, look. This guy's like, oh no, oh dear, oh. We'll carry on and we'll come back to that. I like to do all the text first. The counsel for the defense thinks a British courtroom is an appropriate place for fairy tales, does he? Ugh. Ah, this is so unfair. That chemical test is based on solid science. Haley and I know what we're doing. The trouble is, unless the technique can be independently verified, we'll never get beyond this man's flashy stick waving. Marveling today at the supply chain disruption. Yeah, I've seen that that's really being a problem as well in North America. Like Canada and the States are having the big supply chain problems that we've been having as well. Apparently it's even in Europe. I mean, we don't get much news about that kind of stuff happening in other countries on our news networks, but I've been hearing it on like Canadian radio stations that I listen to, and then like their morning reports, they're talking about gas prices going sky high and shortages of things on shelves, and it's terrible. The hard part to get out of stock. Waited forever to get a monitor. Got yesterday. It was manufactured on February 2021. Wow. So it's like, where was it all this time? Yeah. Wow. But yeah, it's a big global knock-on effect. I mean, I think at first they tried to blame it on that container ship as well that blocked the Suez Canal for a while, like a few days. And like, you know, the delays to shipping coming through. But by now, surely that's cleared. Like, whatever backlog was there is cleared. I know as well, in the States, so they're having problems like on the East Coast ports, I think. I think it's East Coast, where they've got ships just anchored off coast, waiting because there's not enough dock workers to haul things off. Basically, it took 6 months to make from China to the US. Color laser printers are impossible to get. Wow. Yeah. Plus, technology right now is there's a microchip shortage as well, and that's causing all manner of problems. Yeah, like the rare earth metals have been in short supply lately that they use to make the microchips, and that's it. It's like one little thing in a logistics chain that goes wrong, and it just has this big ripple that affects so many things. 2 months for a new PC? Jeez. Yeah, it's capitalism, eh? Granted, it is a very colourful alchemy. Perhaps it would make a good souvenir for your uneducated friends back home in the East. Something riled him there just for a moment. Mr. Graydon let his feathers get ruffled. Well, he knows his blood is at the scene and he's worried we can prove it somehow. Yeah, it'll stabilise eventually. I saw in the news today that the former Tesco's chairman here in the UK, who's been retired for a long time, has been brought in by the government to advise them on the logistics chain situation, to see what they need to do to strengthen it. I mean, I don't know, maybe make it easier for truck drivers to get properly certified safely, and also affordable for them to be insured, and pay them a decent wage, you know. The companies need to actually accept that as a responsibility of theirs and not hire cheap foreign labour, because now we don't have our own pool of truck drivers, and they decided to leave after Brexit. They were like, well, it's too difficult to get into England, so we can't work there. Yeah. It will stabilise except for the UK. Yeah. You know what? I want out of this country, so this country can just... Yeah. Although I've got family here. I don't want them to be hurt by anything as well, obviously, but... Yeah. If this country's gonna go tits up, it should wait until I leave. That much is sure. Okay. It is annoying, though, not being able to get stuff. Although, earlier today, while I was out doing stuff, I did nip into the supermarket on the way in because my parents asked me to pick a few things up. It was full. The shelves were heaving with product. That's the first time I've seen it that way in a while. So, I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky. because it was also full of people. If I'd have come an hour later, there'd be gaps. There would be lots of stuff missing. It's a bad idea to ditch your top commercial partner and expect them to help you. Yeah. Strange how that happens, isn't it? Yeah. The homebrew tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Don't forget, sir, that Mr. Sherlock Holmes is the most famous detective in the world. And the most famous detective in the world tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, Oh no, I can't think how to answer that. I once saw the world's most famous swindler thrown into jail. He allegedly told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but what turned out to be a pack of lies. Quite. Now, as you are no doubt aware, the Central Communication Station is the heart of this country's information network. This is the, 19th century version of the internet, basically, is what they work with. My work there is of paramount importance, and you have kept me from going for it long enough already. Canada needs to let you in. I bet it's the French Canadians' fault. Oh, no, I'm sure they're not to blame. They'll be like, oh look, a British person wants in. Yes, they do need to let me in though. Like, let me in! Let me in! So that's all he's going to say on the matter, is it? What do you think, Bruno? I think he has no intention of telling us anything. He's well aware that the less he says, the less chance he has of giving himself away. The complete opposite of Hurley, then. He seems to think that the more he says, the better. I need to find a way of getting more information out of the man somehow, but compared to the bungling burglars besides him, he seems as innocent as a child. Or perhaps the Skulkin brothers might be the key here? Yes, I know. It's okay, Iris, I've already figured this out. Oh, could they be somehow? Remember, if you don't prove the witness has some connection to the incident here, he'll be free to leave. I know, I can't let that happen. Let's listen to the statements again and see if there's a way I can make them tell us more. So, it was the second to last statement that one of the brothers started getting all choked up. Hold it! So let's skip back through, now that we've seen everything up to then. So he's saying that the blood could be theirs. He won't listen to the science behind how this blood test thing works. And that Sholmes is a great detective, or, well, a renowned one. And then this guy's all like, pugh. And he looks kind of perturbed by that, like, oh no, he just said that? Oh damn, that's just going too far. Excuse me. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? Hey, what, me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Right, I've had it up to here with this. How many times have I got to tell you? Yes, I know you're not Big Bruv Sulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin. Hey, God blimey, Governor. You what? You what, mate? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? Would you care to share the thought with the court? Hey, me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him. You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing. Honest, Gov, nothing. I was just thinking, if he waves his arms around that much more, it'll open up the wounds again, that's all. The wounds again? You mean you know he's wounded? What wound? Where he took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't going to be healed up yet. I was, well, you know, I was worrying for him and... Oh, hell's bells! Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm? My lord. Yes, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet on the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Just where he's holding, funnily enough. Perhaps you'd allow the court official to examine your arm, sir? The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand as if in pain? No, I refuse. Your Honor? Can he do that? You have shown me no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. We don't have to strip you naked, dude. We just need to check your arm. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all of this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where the fellow was killed whatsoever. Oh, really? Not even when you came to claim that the coat that Ginny was claiming was yours? And then you wanted the disc? I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved. You claim you had nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. The guy reminds me of Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. That's one I've never watched yet. I've not got around to watching that. I've seen plenty of memes, but that's it. My lord, the defense would like that the last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Very well, counsel. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon. The bottom line is, I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokering establishment where the man was killed. Really? Hold it. Never had anything to do with it? You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the very afternoon of the incident. Obviously, I am not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study. No, you were there to redeem an article. I have no idea what you're talking about. We'll come back to him as well. Sorry? You must be confusing me with someone else. You see, because I keep wanting to call him Lestrade because he's the copper, but that's Ginny. Gregson here clearly, you know, he knows because he came to sort out the problem. Especially when this guy pulled a gun and told us to hand over the coat and the disc, and then Gregson marched in because the pawnbroker hit the silent alarm. I wasn't there for any such purpose. Ooh. But the redemption ticket, that won't get you anywhere, Runo. Iris, what do you mean? Mr. Windibank never wrote the names of his customers on his redemption tickets, so you can't prove the ticket was his. Oh, of course, she's right. I'm afraid you're going to need to produce some irrefutable evidence here, otherwise he'll never admit to being there. Irrefutable evidence. That's all he's gonna say. Alright, keep going. So thanks to the Skulkin brothers, we got more information. They were the key to it after all. So he says he had nothing to do with Windibanks. Well, we know that's not true. Perhaps now would be a good time to have a proper look through the court record. Good idea. You never know when a tiny scrap of information could become a valuable weapon. Alright. So we're going to press him again, and we're going to see what Gregson has to add. When the guy denies having gone to redeem a ticket. Gregson, excuse me. Do you have something to add, Inspector? Oh, come again, Sunshine. You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector? That afternoon? Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself and the pawnbroker that afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, the accused were all present, as I recall. And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article? Well, now. Really? I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly. Whoa, really, Gregson? You're gonna do us like that? But you must. I'm not going to lie and pretend I remember something that I don't. No, you're gonna lie and pretend that you don't remember something that you do. What is going on here? Gregsy showed us the picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that Hurley installed in Winterbanks? Yes, of course. Indeed, and the gentleman pictured bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say. Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was in the shop on the afternoon in question. At no point have I denied that fact. I merely entered the shop to peruse the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more. This makes no sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. But why would Gregson be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? Because he's crooked. Alright, so we're circling back around again. Let's have a good look at the court record now that we've seen where that goes, i.e. nowhere. Alright, so these are the pawnbroker tickets. This is the one for a small box. Representation papers, the blood sample. Well, they've already said they're not really considering that as solid evidence. By the way, guys, how is the stream performance on your end? Because I've rewired things. I've moved the hub into this room and I'm now wired directly into it, as opposed to going through like a power line thing. So far, I don't seem to have dropped a single frame. Seems fine to you? Awesome. So hopefully it stays this way. It's been good. Nice. I should have done this earlier then. I should have set it up like this after the first day when we were dropping frames, but oh well, a week later, week and a half, whatever it was. McGilded's case notes. Today's paper, pawnbroker perishes in pickpockets plunder. And there was also a thing about British military secrets being stolen. The autopsy report, the crime scene photo, the plan, the two guns, a photograph of Gina, and then after they knocked everything over and put it all back again, because all the stuff far end of the table is like askew. A music box disc, Sholmes's pouch, and the third bullet. I mean, I guess we can attest to the fact that this smear of blood was definitely his. He's saying he didn't try to redeem anything. It's like, so why is your blood on this if you didn't try to snatch it?
Objection!
Yeah. There we go. Have you ever seen the disc before, Mr. Graydon? Why? Is it supposed to mean something? The disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn in Mr. Winterbank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously started to try to take it from her. And that someone was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I have reiterated numerous times now, you were mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life. It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc. Ah yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps? That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. May we see your hands? So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in the form of a smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnant also, in the form of a scratch. Oh, good gracious. Indeed it must. Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow the court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with a smear of blood on this disc. Oh. Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you. What? What is the meaning of this? So you admit it now. You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant? Order! Order! Well, Mr. Graydon, it would appear there has been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of a pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that if in this piece of evidence my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident. Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about the disc now. As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. Well, not this one, but the other one that you wanted. Could. There's a note on the disc saying, "For McGilded," but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, the filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. An article he says he didn't have anything there. You know, he just said, "Oh, I've never put anything there before," and now he's like, "Oh, I did actually." So, you're lying. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night. Did I hear you correctly, sir? McGilded, you say? The famous London philanthropist? And barbecue enthusiast? Who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder. Yes, my lord. The one and the same. Good lord. Mr. Graydon. Are you saying that Mr. McGilded and yourself were acquainted? Yes, that is correct. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear the name uttered here in my courtroom again. According to what Gina told us, the disc was placed in pawn on a fateful night 2 months ago. Zoas! Hello! How are you? 'Tis the weekend! It is! Enjoy that weekend! How's it going? McGilded himself gave instructions to deposit it at Winterbanks. It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belongs to him, isn't it? In all likelihood, he is lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Winterbanks in order to get his hands on McGilded's disc for some reason. You just ordered a pizza and gonna play Battlefield all night. Nice. What did you get on your pizza? Tell me about the toppings. Describe them in every detail. I need to know. Counsel, you will continue your cross-examination, please. Pepperoni. Ooh, good choice. Keep it simple and spicy. I like it. There's a note on the disc saying for McGilded and it belongs to me. How so? Would you care to explain how this belongs to you? As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary. You are certainly exquisitely dressed, sir. So you see, I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbroker's trade. However, I did once find myself in difficulties having misplaced my purse while on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question. You claim that it was your overcoat, obviously, and in my haste I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket. And yet there's a note on it that... sorry, wrong voice. And yet there is a note on it that reads for McGilded. I am a collector of rare and unusual box music. I first met Mr. McGilded at the Gentleman's Club in the city, and was interested to discover that he shared my penchant in that area. So the disc in question is a pre-production sample. I promised to let Mr. McGilded hear it. Oh, hence why it has for McGilded written on it. But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn. Yes, exactly. Gina didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she? Well, she wouldn't have known. She didn't even know there was a disc in the pocket when she went to collect the coat. So what Gina had done, just to catch people up, during the McGilded trial, Magnus McGilded did stab the brickmaker, and we think when he did, he took this pawnbroker's ticket for a small box, I believe. No, that's not it. That one. For a small box, pawned for 10 shillings. This one, however, is another pawnbroker's ticket with the brickmaker's thumbprint on it in blood, because McGilded had blood on his hands after stabbing him. He found Gina Lestrade, as she had claimed, in the cabinet unit under the box seat. However, he let her run away. But in order to let her get away, he distracted the driver by telling him to go and take his overcoat to the nearby pawnbrokery and then bring the ticket back, and he gave him some money to put it in pawn. You know, oh no, he gave Gina some money to get it back out, sorry. So yeah, he told him to go do it and, you know, come back with the ticket. He hid the ticket in a bush and Gina went back and got it the next day. And since then, she was supposed to wait for McGilded, but he died. And eventually, I guess she just got tired of fretting over what to do about it, and on the last day of this ticket's expiry, before the item would be forfeit, she went back to go and collect it. She didn't know what was in it. It was McGilded's coat. So, yeah. So that's where we are with this. Mr. McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut, which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Oh dear, this is complicated, isn't it? Let's leave it alone for the time being. I think we're gonna have to go there eventually, though. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, the filthy gutling on the day in question. So you're saying Miss Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag? That's right. Despite being mindful of danger when walking in the insalubrious areas kind frequent. Miss Lestrade did no such thing. Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender. You came to the pawnbrokery on the day with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. Yes, he had a sketch of her. Someone else had sent him for this music disc. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hand on Mr. McGilded's disc. My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense? What you just say to me? I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjuring in this way. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Then I will continue with my testimony for what possible use it can be. So proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain the situation and redeem the article. Hold it! Had you ever been to Windibanks before? Only once for the purposes of pawning something, but like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments. So when you noticed the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct? Yes, that is right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such is the art of a pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokers at once in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place. He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. The disc was taken by the police. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? That's right. This was the very man. Apparently the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence. That's why he took it. That's what the inspector said, at least, as he seized my disc. And thanks to the skirmish with that wastrel, I snagged the end of my thumb at the same time. Now the disc in question, is this the disc here? Yes, it is. Scotland Yard have indeed been gathering items believed to have been the property of Mr. McGilded, presumably to aid their investigation in some way. Not something I would be aware of. I really didn't know the man very well anyway. After all, I'm merely a communications officer with a penchant for music boxes. And flamboyant posers, apparently. I've absolutely no reason to break into the shop that night. We'll go back and go do that last one with Gregson soon. Perhaps you'd seen something of value along the forfeited items? No, not at all. Oh. Oh, well, there goes that theory then. A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelf was common or garden bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear. But you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilded's disc. No, because Gregson had it. Have you not been listening, man? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you might recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. It was no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in. So, there was nothing of McGilded's left in the shop that night. Nothing this man might have been after. I mean, we don't know if the small box was McGilded's as well. What we do know is that this image is a stereoscope image, and that's literally it. Or was that... No, wait a minute. No. That pawnbroker's ticket, I think, was inside the coat, wasn't it? Doesn't say on the description. A redemption ticket issued from the pawnbroker owned by the victim, Mr. Winderbank, in the form of some handwritten notes on the back of the photograph. How did we get this again? This is like one of the first pieces of evidence we recovered. Did Gina give us this? I can't remember now. I don't remember if Gina gave us this, because she kept the coat. And I think the coat had this in the pocket. I wonder if that's really true. Bruno, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble. McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had it deposited at Winderbank's. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina to force her to take the redemption ticket. There's no doubt about it, that witness is lying through his pearly white teeth. Well, the police were obviously after anything left behind by McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day. But Gregsy being very strange about all this. There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. Hey Iris, how about you give him an evil glare and see if he crumbles again? But now I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. Well, we'll go redo this one, and then we'll press Gregson when he'll, you know, here we go. He gets all disturbed. But the police are collecting anything that has a connection to McGilded as evidence.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Inspector? What do you mean? The last remark about Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way. No it didn't. It's nothing. Leave me alone. Or leave it alone. Leave me alone as well. Leave it all alone. Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilded's possessions? I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine. What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets? Yes, exactly. You should know all about that. Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life. Yet he had a dark side, too. Where are you going with this, Van Zykes? I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they? Yeah, they're protecting the rich and powerful that had some dodgy dealings with him. That's enough. Coppers like me have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about, that's all you need to know. Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume? The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. Yeah, I think Van Zykes had a personal crusade going on as well. The bottom line is this: if you want to get more out of me, you're going to need Lord Strongheart's paw print first. What's all this about? It's like there's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zykes here. Well, it would appear that the Inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony. Gladly, my lord. Had no reason to break into the shop that night. We need to prove he did. There must be a piece of evidence we have that shows the reason. The reason for the season. I wonder if it has something to do with the small box then. Let's look at this one with Iris. We looked at these with Susato, but not Iris. I think. Yeah, we did. Mr. Winterbank appears to have used the back of a photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper and had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what the front, what's on the front and what's the reverse side now. That's all we have then. I mean, this is clearly the front, the one with the cat. The cat is on it, therefore it is the front. This is an adorable little cat. I think he looks like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under a heated kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. Actually, now we have both pictures. I could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? So I need to cross my eyes and get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. It's such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time staring. Could we maybe use the portable stereoscope that we have and show me what it looks like? What am I supposed to see? I doubt very much he was going for the Hound of the Baskervilles. Okay. I used Daddy's notes to write it. I think it's a great story. I don't know why Hurley forbade me to publish it. Strange, isn't it? Perhaps that's a problem with the title. Perhaps Mr. Sholmes is a family friend of someone who has that name or something? Well, it does have quite the same ring to it, but I could change it to the Hound of the Naruhodos. That's alright. The Hound of the Naruhodos. Like a samurai movie now. I'm fairly sure that Mr. Sholmes is a friend of someone who has that name too. Doesn't look as though there's anything abnormal about it though. The McGilded case notes. I wonder if it is the pawnbroker's ticket. Maybe we have to bluff with this and say, look, he was after this. There's a small box. Because I'm pretty sure we got this in relation... Yeah, we did. We got this one in relation to McGilded's coat. This one, since it was already redeemed, was still sitting on the countertop at the pawnbrokery after the shooting, and we picked it up. And that's when we saw the thumbprint and tested it, found out it matched the blood on the calendar. Sorry, not the calendar, matched the blood for Thrice-Fired Mason. I'm gonna bluff.
Objection!
Yeah. This disc was deposited at Winterbank's on Magnus McGilded's instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself. Conjecture again, and as in a case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness has no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that night. Sorry, my learned friend. But that's not true. What? Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Winterbank's, as this second pawnbroker's ticket proves. Ah! There were 2 articles belonging to Mr. McGilded in Winterbank's pawnbrokery, and the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your 2 accomplices, the Skulkin brothers. Ah! This is the second ticket, is it? We had the man what had the man deposited? The article description reads 1 small box. A rather vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbrokery with these clowns in order to steal some trinket box? I believe there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did. And this is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. Yes, but it wasn't on the shelves. So he could have thought maybe he hasn't brought it out yet. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. That's a good point. Indeed, the witness makes a solid argument. That means that for some reason, Mr. Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it? It is time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Could you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zykes? I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Winterbank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. Yeah, well, they confiscated everything. Good gracious. The inspector showed the photographic prints to the court, if you please. Yes, sir. What prints? These prints were taken from one of the detective security cameras. Ah, Hurley's red-handed recorders again. As previously explained using this plan of the shop layout. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Winterbank receives his customers. The other set to capture the shelves on which the articles are placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on this ticket, Mr. McGilded's small box had been forfeited already, 2 days before the incident at 9 PM on the 13th of April to be precise, which means that it would have been on the shelves of the forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's 11 PM on the 15th of April. The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear. And then here we have another print. This is at 2. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare. I mean, nothing seems to have changed. But I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold. Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache. Obviously Scotland Yard, we considered the theft as a possible motive for the case. We explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life. Your men had already compared the two prints thoroughly, Inspector. Yes, sir. We've counted every single item in each of the two photographic prints. The Yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question, and my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. Ah! No! I don't believe it. If I could have just shown that he'd stolen McGilder's pawn box. Well, this just proves that the box wasn't there to begin with, that it may still be in the back room, and then they ran because we barged in.